There is so much for me to cover here on the Bitcoin chart today in this video. I'm going to be going over a harmonic pattern, which, by the way, next is pointing for downside on Bitcoin. We've got a 3 drives pattern, which is pointing towards a drop on Bitcoin next too. So we've got some more medium-term time frame drop signs coming on Bitcoin. But we're also going to be taking a look at our correlated markets, such as gold, such as the NQ and ES futures, okay, for the stock market, which is looking much more healthy. They're seeing some very nice rises. So we have that slight conflicting information between the correlated markets and the Bitcoin patterns themselves, which are pointing to drops next. So I want to be covering how we can use this information, understand when there are times of conflicting information, what we should do as traders, and how that leans into the next trade setups that I am looking at over the next, I would say, 7 days. So this video is going to be on a little bit of a zoomed out. I'd like to do these videos more zoomed in, but we're going to zoom out a little bit and go over the course of the next week or so of price action and what we can be looking for those trade setups. So first of all, I just hope that you thoroughly enjoy this video. Okay, you take some enjoyment out of it, but most importantly, you can learn from this video. I'm going to be educating you in a way that really can help you with your trading journey. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy it. And let's get down to business, right? Down to the charts, down to our trades. So first of all, I want to say, when I think of like the biggest tips that I can give to people, this would definitely be within my top 5 tips. And for people that have been subscribed over the years, it might sound like a broken record, but I want to say it once again, the importance of patience. Okay, Bitcoin is an asset that, yes, can have very big volatile moves. Again, it can trend massively to the upside. But more often than not, Bitcoin is actually going in this sideways ranges. And over the past 2 days, we've really seen that. It has been in a tight range here for the past 2 days, especially the last 24 hours. But for me, the last 2 days here have been extremely tight and not actually a nice trading environment. And I will expand upon this so you understand why. But yeah, for me, really simply, the last 2 days have been difficult. I have taken no trades on Bitcoin in the past 48 hours. And that is because I understand the importance of patience. I wait as a trader for the highest, best trades only. And I hope that through these videos, you can see that, understand it, and learn from that. I'm not a trader that's going to come out here and take some really poor trade setup just to take a trade. A lot of people that I know, they've got that gambler's mentality where they just always are itching and scratching for the next trade setup. They cannot have that level of patience required. And then they wonder why they keep failing, keep making the same mistakes. The best traders I know, they have this level of patience where they can accept, hey, if there's not a trade today, I'm not going to take it. I will wait for the best trade setups. And that is how you make the profits. If you think about it, right? Trading is it's a zero-sum game. For every winner, there's a loser. And if you want to be on the side which is the winners, that is the least amount of people. So when you think about this, that for every winner, there's a loser in terms of a contract. For every one buy, there's a sell. But the winning contracts can be made up by 1% of the population, and they're trading with much more size, versus 99% of the population who's trading with their small contracts. There's still a one-to-one balance there, but the 1% is continuously winning, while 99% are continuously losing. And I mean this so much. That 1%, they just know what they're doing. They're not falling into the retail traps. They have that level of patience. They understand the highest probabilities. They're not getting dragged by their emotions, okay, longing up at the highs, shorting down at the lows. They are the 1% for a reason, because they know what to do when it comes to trading. And that's my aim of these videos, to get you up to that top 1%. It is possible. I know it because I've seen it. I know it because I've done the journey myself. I did not start as a profitable trader. It took me hard years. Well, yeah, it took me years, hard years, a dedication to the craft, mastering my craft over the course of now 14 years of trading to get to where I am. And I went from a losing trader to a very profitable trader. So I know the process, I know the journey. And when we look at the trades that we have coming up, I'm going to be starting to show what's going to be today is the importance of patience. Why? Because as I've said, and I'm emphasizing here, the last 2 days, no trades taken at all on Bitcoin. I do not think this is a good trading environment, especially when we start to see this, which I find extremely different. Look at this, my friends. Let's add on a parallel channel from the low to the high of this more sideways range that we're in. Look at this, the low to the high up here. Well, how often do we see this? It is not often. A higher low here held by $2. So from this low to here, this actually put in a $2 high from the last low. So this low here, 69,111 here, sorry, 96,111. Here we have $96,113. So $2 higher than here. It's very unusual that we will see that. And then the exact same at the high, a little bit more of a space, but a high here, 99,171. And on this high that we put in this afternoon, 99,134. So an extreme small margin, front running the high, front running the low. If that could be shown on a picture of what is not my preferred trading scenarios, it would be this. I like to see highs taken out like we saw here the day prior, right? A swing failure pattern. This is always my preferred trading scenario when I'm looking for a trade setup, and I do like to pair that with confluence. And what we saw yesterday evening, and what we saw this afternoon, I'm never involved in these types of trade setups. They're ones that I will miss out on because I wait, once again, for the best, highest probabilities. And that will mean sometimes I miss some trades, and I'm happy to miss the trades because for me, there is simply not a trade. So you could say, well, Daniel, you missed the short from here. But from my perspective and the way I trade, there was not a trade there. And I am remaining patient for a good trade. So then what that moves us on to, what am I waiting for next? I want to talk you through, first of all, the higher term timeframes. We've had, this is going on now a few weeks, the higher term timeframe harmonic. We put in our low and then our high, of course, at around $105,000. I hope you can all remember this. We took the short trade here, and that was based off of the higher term time frame plan from the harmonic. And then we made our way down to around 90,000, and then we rallied once more. And what was that a rally for? It was for 3 drives. We rallied from 91,000 all the way up to above 100,000 to top out of the weekly, right? Whereas the weekly we had 102,000. So these are higher term time frame plans. Okay, we had to wait several days for the first short off of 105,000. We dropped down to 90,000 zone, and then we rallied up once again for 102,000. But for each of those 2 rallies, from 98 to 105, and from 90,000 to 102, there was that degree of patience that was needed to wait for the higher term time frame setup to come into play. So what you want to write down is the higher term time frame setups absolutely are requiring patience, but on each of those setups, what is very good is here we had the lower term time frame channel setup, and here we had the lower term time frame reaction setup. So you pair a higher term time frame idea, so write this down, you pair your higher term time frame trade setup, such as the harmonic, with a lower term time frame entry trigger. So you wait for price to rally up to your target zone for the short trade, and then you can avoid having to have a $5,000 stop loss by waiting for the lower term time frame trade setup. And that was on a fake out of our mini channel high, if you can remember. It's where I took the short live on a YouTube video. So you can go back to the YouTube video 2 videos back. And during that very video, it was around a 30-minute video, 37-minute video. I took the short trade live on stream, live on that video, right? So you can go back and watch it if you would like. But that was a lower term time frame trade setup off of a 5-minute chart. But we had the higher term time frame picture involved. So higher term time frame trade setups, lower term time frame entry triggers, they come together and they give you, mamma mia, very nice high probability trades. And then once you're in the trade, once again, what do you need to have? You have to have a bit of patience. So I had my original short trade from 105. This fake out here had then the compound offered a weekly here. And so for this move to the downside, all of this range here, this sideways a little bit that we've had going on over the past few days, I've not taken anything here, because I don't have a high probability, higher term time frame trade setup like I have had previously. What do I have here? A load of nada, as I've already told the champions. For me, this is a load of nada. There's nothing here that's showing to me really good high probability trade, right? When I look at the 3 drives, when I look at the harmonic, I'm saying to myself, lovely, I will wait days, a week for this trade setup, 2 weeks I'll wait for that trade setup. I will wait patiently for those trade setups because this is my bread and butter. This is what's giving me the profits that I need, that I want, that I strive for, right? These are lovely trades that I would look at every day with a big smile on my face and say, this is it. This is what I want to wait for. And now what do I see today? I see nothing of the sort. I see no higher term time frame harmonic in this section of the chart. I see no confluence that's lining up and saying, well, this is wonderful confluence. I see no uptrend or downtrend anchored VWAP. We've got none of that going on here. So what do I say? I say I want to wait. I want to wait patiently for another golden trade setup to show itself. And I will tell you this, my friends, make note of this. I am not... Okay, I not say if you're writing this down, say it does not matter. At this scenario that we have right here, it does not matter if price is to rise next or if price is to drop next. I, as a trader, am happy with either way, whether we drop or whether we rise. I just need to know where. If we rise, I will look for my next short. And if we drop, where I will look for my next long. But the direction that the market takes next is not important to us as traders because right now we have no trade setup. So I'm not going to take a gamble here. Emphasizing that word, gamble. Today is a gamble. If I am longing here, I'm gambling on a rise because there's no high probability. If I short here, I'm gambling because there's no high probability short either. So if you are trading here, you are gambling and you are very likely to lose money, in my opinion. What you should be doing is that level of patience and waiting for a rise to the upside for the higher probability short or a drop to the downside for the higher probability long. And that is how you will start to make these consistent gains that you so much strive for, but a lot of people struggle with because they don't have the patience or maybe even, the understanding necessary from the technical perspective of what to be doing. So that's why I help you with these videos, right? So I really would be saying right now, I would like to see, okay, my preferred scenario of the two, of course, is going to be a little bit of a drop to the downside, where I'm going to be waiting for the weekly low to be taken out. So I happily see this drop to around $90,000, really from 90,000 starting for the higher low back on the 13th of January, right? Down to around the lowest point of the bigger range, 84,000. Of course, we've got a daily there. So we've got those harmonic targets and 3-drive targets lining up down and around between 87 to 84,000, right? But we're aware of the higher low that we could be seeing, okay? So this is a level that you want to mark out, weekly low. So the weekly low here, we will just mark as key for now. And this is a level where really simply you can look for the fake out of the weekly low, right? So you fake out the weekly low, and then you can get that rise to the upside. So it's all reactionary based trades, right? So those lower term time frame entry triggers. So we'll wait and see where we get that. But that's the levels that I would be waiting for to the downside. The weekly low there at the key level, moving down towards the bigger harmonic and 3-drives patterns. To the upside, it's going to be a fairly similar story of like that level of patience. So here, between here and 102,000, there's once again nothing. So just as you can mark out that weekly low as we did, you should be marking out the weekly high for the exact same theory, lower term time frame entry trigger setups from weekly highs and weekly lows, right? Especially this week because it was so important. So I would say have that same marked out for the weekly high. And then you're moving on to around that monthly naked point of control, 105,000. So I hope you can see the importance there of patience, right? And having that level of understanding that why would I trade now at 97,200 and take a complete gamble at what's happening next? And again, why is this a gamble? Because we have no lower term time frame entry trigger. We have no trade setup here. It is a complete gamble. You've got better odds betting on red on the roulette wheel, to be honest with you. Whereas if we wait for a higher probability trade setup, let's say the move to the upside or our move down to lower confluences, well, then we go from a, at best 50-50 gamble, where we can aim for probabilities with trade setups and statistics that I have that are pushing into 90% win rates, extremely high win rates. And you are only able to achieve such win rates, right, if you have, first of all, the knowledge necessary of what that, what that includes, but then the patience to wait for those trade setups, right? I could have a trade setup with a 90% win rate. Well, and, I could then take these gamble trades where I've got 50% odds at best. Why would I do that? Well, it would be senseless. It would be silly, right? I would not be the trader I am if I didn't, have that emotional control to say, well, I'm not going to trade if I don't see the trade setup. And with that, I actually want to just expand very briefly, because I don't want this video to be too long, of what you can do, right? This is a massive tip again. I want you to write it down because it's going to be helpful. Daniel, I have no trade setup on Bitcoin. Yeah, you're selling it to me. I'm selling it to you. Right now, there's not a trade setup. You know, we're saying that right now is a gamble trade. If we're trading right now, we're taking a gamble. So in this scenario, what should we do? What should we do? If there's not a trade setup on the charts, tell me, Daniel, what should we do? I want to, you're wanting to learn. The best way to learn is through experience, right? You need to take the trades. You know, it's all well and good having the theory in your head, but that theory is useless if you're not putting it into practice. It's like someone was saying yesterday, right? If you are a carpenter, yeah, you can read all the carpentry books, you can be a master of theory of carpentry, but if you never practice, well, guess what? You're not going to have a clue what you're doing in reality. No one's going to want to work with you, right? It's the same with trading. You can have all the theory under your head, but if you're not practicing, well, it's a bit useless, right? At the end of the day, you need to practice. So I get that, and that is why I will say this, and important. I say it to myself. If there is no trade setups on Bitcoin, like there is right now, in my opinion, there's no high probability trade setup close by. Rather than just looking at Bitcoin and wasting time away, or even taking trade setups too aggressively when they're not even there, okay, which is just a loss of money as well. What should you be doing? We should take that time to analyze and trade markets, such as the altcoins, of course. Altcoins, gold right now is incredibly technical, and like we were doing yesterday with the ES and NQ, which is our futures over on the futures market, the stock market. So I want to just really quickly talk you through this, because I actually am, as you all know, a lover of Bitcoin, and I always will be. That's not going to be changing, by the way. I opened myself up to NQ yesterday, and on the NQ, got in a long from $21,702, which was a lower term time frame setup, actually, off of a back test of a value area low, right? So just a really simple trade setup that we had going on here. We come back down to the value area low, and this is where I got into my long trades. 21,702 is the exact fill on that trade. But that was live on stream yesterday, actually, during a power hour. So myself, Igor, and Severin, we went live for this power hour stream, and that's where I locked in that trade. And I actually went into this stream saying, for me, there's not going to be a trade on Bitcoin. I knew when I entered the live stream, Bitcoin for me is not anywhere near a level that I want to be trading. So rather than like wasting away the time, I understood, well, if we want to get involved in this, we got to look at trading other assets, right? So that's where this NQ trade came along. And that was actually the first time I've traded NQ on stream, but you can see there's opportunities on gold. This is the futures of gold. But yeah, referring to this trade on the NQ, it's recognizing if you have the technical ability to trade Bitcoin, you can trade altcoins, you can trade gold, you can trade Forex, you can trade the stocks individually, you can trade the indexes, right? You can trade the ESNQ, for example, right? So all of the theory is the same. This was a simple back test of the value area low for the long trades. And then this thing just went absolutely crazy, and it ended in a pretty epic trade. This is just for the leap competition, but nevertheless, right, that's pretty good for simply trading off of a 1 minute chart back test of a value area low. Very technical. We knew the higher term time frame trend of the NQ. We knew it had poor highs, so a high probability of further upside, and we wanted to see the higher low held off of the value area low of the range. So a pretty simple trade setup, but those simple trade setups can end in wonderful results, right? You don't need anything super complex or confusing. But where I'm going with this, and why I'm talking about it now, is because I repeat, it doesn't matter the asset. You just want to wait for high probability trade setups. And if Bitcoin doesn't have that, like it doesn't have right now, open yourself up to trading altcoins. And I know a lot of you are already comfortable with that. So I would say this, right now, altcoins are, 99% of them are dead, like dying heavily, just going down and down and down every day. So with that in mind, rather than trading assets which are just totally downtrending, you could be looking at assets such as gold, such as the ES and NQ that are uptrending, clear, nice trends, and opening yourself up to those new markets. And I will say this, if you are interested in trading those new markets, of course, I love to cover Bitcoin and I get the setups on Bitcoin, but we also do have live trading streams, which look, of course, at crypto, but as well the futures markets, even getting into some Forex and things like that, right? So if you're interested in discovering new markets, if you just want to see traders trading live in the time, so you see the reason of the entry, where the stop loss will be, where the take profit will be, like professional traders who make profits, who love what they do, who want to share. If you want to see the real time, real action, well, then every single week you are guaranteed the live trading streams. Several live streams a week of live trading at chartchampions.com. So, you know, that's where you, if you're too scared right now to have the experience of trading, well, you can experience it through us, or, you know, follow along sort of thing, right? So that's the aim of the live trading streams. And, you know, just putting it out there, if that's of interest to you, you can absolutely get all of that via chartchampions.com. We'll be more than happy to help you, whether it's with the live trading streams or whether it's with the whole course, you know, getting you up to date on all of the theory needed, every single bit of theory needed in the whole of trading you can imagine. We got everything covered. And so that's what you could be looking forward to on that. So yeah, a summary of Bitcoin. Right now, I do remain absolutely patient. For me, no interest in trading this lower term time frame range. Okay, it's very tight. Not that interested in this. I'm waiting for a bigger level. And again, I'm happy to see it drop. I'm happy to see it rise. I'm not in this video with a perma bear, or it's definitely going to drop, or a perma bull, it's definitely going to rise. I'm happy to see it drop, where I'll look for my new longs. I'm happy to see it rise, where I'll look for my new shorts. But for me, all I know is where it is right now, I'm not going to be trading. And while I'm not going to be trading Bitcoin, which hopefully is only going to be for another, you know, day, let's say, and I would like to get back to trading this, but I need a high probability trade setup. In the meantime, focus on the altcoins. And if you're interested, get into new markets. Today, we had already 4 videos. So Severin with a stock market update this morning. Then I went live for another update for cryptocurrency. Then we had the dedicated altcoin stream where we go through altcoin setups. And now Severin is live trading from the New York Open for a few hours as well. So you can see that's already 4 bits of content only today. And this is what we're doing all days, right? We're always here to help you, whether it's via our Discord posts and updates, or whether it's via the live streams or the already recorded like Netflix library of everything you need. I just think we got such a wonderful opportunity to help so many people. And if you'd like that, hey, get involved, chartchampions.com. I really think you're going to absolutely love it. We're just going from new highs to new highs, trading extremely well right now. And yeah, just super happy while doing this and helping people. So yeah, if you want to join a lovely trading community, you can check out chartchampions.com and post along with your lovely money shots with the theory that you're learning with us. But it's wonderful to see. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to say I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful. If you have, you know what to do. Hit that like button, leave a comment. I read each and every single one of them. And I hope that you have a wonderful day and weekend ahead. If you want more from me, check me over at chartchampions.com. Otherwise, on YouTube, I'll see you at some point next week now. Thank you ever so much. Hope you've enjoyed. And that is me signing out. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, and goodbye.